Hey yo guys, how's it going? Tech with Joel here, and in today's video I'm going to be relating to you guys how dangerous it is to learn multiple programming languages as a sport. And in today's video I'm going to be relating to you guys my experience on learning programming languages, how I learned multiple programming languages and how that resulted for me, why I call it dangerous. So let's get started. I started learning programming when I was 12 years old. You see, many of you guys who started learning programming, especially for kids, you guys started learning programming through websites like Scratch or Scratch Junior. But while I was 12 years old, I did not learn programming through Scratch or Scratch Junior. Instead, I started learning programming using a real programming language, Python. Actually, Python was not my first programming language, but it was C++. So yeah, I started learning C++, and being a 12-year-old, why I wanted to learn programming was that I wanted to be able to develop games for myself and play it myself. I wanted to have that feeling that I created this game myself and it's my game and I'm playing it. And also, you see, I love that term called hacking. I know it's, although I was a 12-year-old, so you guys can't blame me. I was just a 12-year-old. I love all those movies where I'll see actors with laptops and stuff hacking into servers, routers, and yeah, FBI, CIA. I don't go into details, but you guys get the idea. I love all those stuff. Every 12-year-old love all those kind of stuff. So that was my true intention. Actually, my primary intention was to learn programming to create games. So yeah, for a while I was learning C++. And when I was learning it, being a 12-year-old, I don't have a PC. My parents refused to get me a PC. They were like, I'm too young to use a PC and stuff. So what I did was that I used the internet. I went into some certain websites like APK Zoo and used their C++ compiler to compile my code. So yeah, I started learning C++. Let me just say I was already somewhere in, let me say, arithmetic expressions, where I use arithmetic operations to add up numbers. And then I found out about Unity Engine. Although you guys should know about Unity Engine, it's a game engine that lets you create games using C# code. So when I learned about Unity engines and I saw the games that Unity created, I wanted to learn C#. So I started learning C# at the same time. So I was learning C# in about, let me just say, less than an hour. I learned about Python. Python is mostly used in programs like AI, machine learning algorithms, NEET, and some few 2D games and ethical hacking. So I wanted to learn ethical hacking. So I started learning Python. So at that spot I had three programming languages: C#, Python, and C++. I was learning those three at the same time. At this time I don't have a PC, I don't have a laptop, I don't have compilers, nothing. I just go into Play Store with my tablet, download apps that could teach me how to code using those certain programming languages, and then I started reading them. I kept on reading 15 hours a day, 15 hours a day, 21 days straight. Meanwhile, I was learning those three programming languages, I came across Golang. You see, everything that God creates, I look at it, although when I was still young, I look at it as perfect. And also, you guys know that Golang was created by Google. So I adopted Golang. I started learning Golang at that spot. While I was doing that, I found out about Lua through through some YouTube videos. Although Lua is a very fast interpreted language, and also I also learned that Python is also faster than Python. So I started learning Lua at the same spot. And then I found out about Java and Kotlin. I learned that Java was used to create mobile applications. So I started to learn Java and Kotlin at the same time. So at this time, I had 7 programming languages: Python, C Sharp, C++, Golang, Java. Just you guys get the idea, right? So I was reading, I kept on reading, occupying myself with knowledge that, I mean, you guys get the idea. Try to learn 7 different programming languages every single day for 21 hours, 21 days straight. Or at least you guys get it. I was a 12-year-old. You can't blame me. I was just a 12-year-old trying to do his best to get everything in his head. You guys get it, right? So after the 21 days, I got a new PC. My parents bought me an Elite book, a HP Elite book. So I was very excited, HP Elite book. I was still a kid, so it was not really that much. But as long as I could install all my interpreters and compilers there and code editors, I was satisfied. So each of those languages I had, I installed interpreters and compilers for them. Lua, Python, Java, C++, C Sharp, Rust, whatever programming language I was learning, I just installed all the compilers in it. And so I installed it, and then the result was very painful. Yeah, very painful. First, I opened the Java IntelliJ code editor. I wanted to write hello world, and guess what? I did not have the slightest idea on how to even start the program. I mean, like, I did not even, like, I was just so confused. I don't know what to do. Of course, if you want to write hello world in Java, you have to put it in a class, then write a method, and then system.out.println. I just did not have the idea. And I've been learning this programming language for 21 days straight. I was just so surprised at myself, like, what's happening to me? I learned this thing for 15 hours, 21 days straight, and are you kidding me? So I was pissed, very annoyed. I went into Visual Studio, installed C Sharp, and I tried to write hello world, but to no avail. I had no idea on how to write it. Of course, very pissed. I went into C++, and yeah, same problem. I was using the Python Sprint statement for the C++ code, which will not work. And in fact, I did not even put it in a main function, in a main class or function. You guys, I don't know what you guys call it. So it did not work. Same with each and every programming language, even with Python. So I was just completely confused, looking at myself like, this is not me. Why would I learn 7 programming languages at a spot at first? Although you guys can't blame me, I was only a 12-year-old kid. I just wanted to know everything at once. Why would I learn 12 programming languages? 7 programming languages at a spot? It's not right. So what I did was, all those my dreams of creating games and mobile applications and stuff like that, I decided to find a good programming language that could do that. So first, what I did was, I went to Google and searched for the best programming languages for beginners. And so they gave me the option of Python. So yeah, I started learning Python. Python took me for about a month or so, about a month and 2 weeks. I was able to learn Python. And then I started learning libraries through using Python, like NumPy, Matplotlib, and then the Pygame library, which I was very excited to learn about, and then the Osina game engine, OpenGL and stuff. So yeah, After learning Python, I decided to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. To be sincere with you guys, HTML was, yeah, HTML is one of the most simplest language that I've ever learned. In fact, I won't really call it a programming language, I'll call it more like a markup language because it was the easiest thing I ever learned in programming. So I learned HTML for about a week. I was satisfied with it. I tried learning CSS, and I will tell you the truth, guys. I hate CSS. Like, I always find myself banging my head on the wall while using CSS. So I just hate that cascading style sheet language, or that is CSS is annoying to me. After that, I started learning JavaScript. JavaScript, at least I forced myself to learn JavaScript in 3 days. Well, I succeeded in learning JavaScript, but the main lesson here is that don't try to learn multiple programming languages at the same spot. If you want to learn programming, especially for beginners, start with a simple programming language. Start with a simple programming language, learn that language, and then you can start with at least a more harder programming language, and then you go from step to step until you reach your goal. Don't try to learn everything at once. You only crash. You spent 15 hours straight like me for 21 days learning all those programming languages. It's impossible. Don't try it. And also for beginners, I would advise that you start using Scratch. Yeah, don't criticize me, please. Don't criticize me in the comments. Start using Scratch. If you don't want to use Scratch like me, you can use something like Python or Lua. Those are the two most easiest programming language I've ever witnessed. So yeah, don't try to learn 7 different programming languages straight. If you want to learn programming languages, start with a simple one. Start with just one. If you want to learn more than one, 2 is already okay. Don't try to learn more than 2 or more, or else you just crash, and everything you learn throughout those periods will be for waste. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, please leave a like, comment, share, and you guys know what to do. Subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care and peace.